Yeah, Evie, I'm here in downtown Columbia, right on the corner of Broadway and Providence. And as you can see here, sidewalks are still pretty slushy, but the roadways are looking pretty clear. The prosecution called a few more witnesses today, including the victim herself. Now, she was a teenager when the investigation began. I'm out here right outside Moberly Police Department where they have confirmed to make that arrest. One bill would remove death as an option for the court to declare when a jury reaches a deadlock. The other would abolish the death penalty completely. This morning, the suspect is behind bars, but police are still trying to figure out what happened. The Columbia Police Department got a call around 8:30 last night. The State and State address today wrapped up around 4:30, where Governor Parson touted his accomplishments not just over this past year, but over the past 5 years as well. Now here's a look at his priorities for the budget this year. People came from all over North America to celebrate PMDD Awareness Day at the Missouri State Capitol. Mary Beth Bones started this awareness effort after losing her daughter to the disorder, turning a terrible situation into something positive.
PMDD was lying to her and telling her, "You're not capable of this. You're not good enough."
There's a new awareness day here in Missouri for a disorder you might not know about.
Imagine if all of Missouri knows what it is.
Premenstrual dysphoric disorder, or PMDD, is often compared to PMS, but is way more severe.
PMS can last a matter of few days before you start to menstruate. PMDD can go on for 2 weeks.
Symptoms can vary, but the women I talk to say it is like a light switch or a storm cloud.
When a storm passes, you're not thinking about the storm anymore. You're in a sunny weather situation.
These symptoms can include brain fog, irritability, and symptoms as severe as suicide attempts. Christina Bone-Rudd fought against PMDD for years. She did all that while being a nurse, wife, and mom.
I think she's a good model for somebody who really suffered and tried to keep up a good face.
That's Mary Beth Bone, Christina's mom.
She was accomplished. She excelled in school.
She was at Christina's side before she lost her battle with the disorder.
It's Christina's birthday, and I wish she were here giving the presentation. I wish I were sitting in the front row clapping for my girl, but I hope she's clapping for us in heaven.
Now there's a whole day to share stories and presentations.
People will hear something that will help their daughter or their sister or their mom, and that's what this is for.
For a disorder that has been invisible for too long, Missouri is shedding some light.
PMDD warriors have responded with applause and cheers because Missouri did this.
Mary Beth Bone says her next step is to get funding from the state to continue her awareness effort. Her goal is to have posters and brochures about the disorder for young women. In the studio, Isabelle Marak, KOMU 8 News.
It's kind of like anger coming out of that room.
Lincoln University students are still looking for answers after today's meeting. This after beloved administrator Antoinette Candia Bailey, known to the students as Bonnie, died by suicide.
She had a smile on her face, even if, her day wasn't going so well. You can always see her with a smile on her face. And she was an extraordinary woman.
A crowd of 30 or so students showed up at Martin Luther King Hall to support her and to demand accountability. The freshman student body president says he looked forward to the direct conversation.
We're just trying to make sure that our system runs smoothly and make sure that accountability is taken here over at Lincoln University for the corrupt systems that's been going on.
Students waited 30 minutes to be let into the open session, and only 4 designated students could ask questions. Senior Chelsea Robinson described the experience as frustrating.
A lot of no comment, we can't answer that question. I believe it was really only one question that they answered was like the characteristics. What characteristics do they see in a president?
She says university staff had a possible attorney instructing them on what questions they could or could not answer. Robinson says the students were let down and the fight is not over.
More than likely, ourselves as a student, as one, will still be protesting. We'll still be fighting for justice for Dr. Bonnie to save our university and get it back to where it should be.
Robinson also said the university made promises to bridge the gap between students and faculty with more transparency and chances for students to speak.
It's so much fun. What do you mean? Yeah, it's just fun.
That fun comes from these gentle giants. But before you say llama, look again.
And llamas are bigger and more aggressive. So whenever people come up and say, "Oh, do they spit on you?" I go, "You've been around llamas."
These furry-headed creatures are actually alpacas, and contrary to popular belief, they don't spit.
They're not that, you know, if you do get spit on you, it's really nasty, but it doesn't happen very often.
That was part of their appeal for Gary and Mary Licklider of Curly Eye Alpaca Farm.
As livestock goes, they're really intelligent, which also means that they're funny.
The other appeal is their fur.
Because there aren't a whole lot of alpacas around, but they're, you know, their fleece is quality stuff.
So Mary started the needle felting business Heartfelt to turn their farm into profit. One of her favorite products, a homemade tote.
New product, cool one, I think. I think one of them may just walk to my house and stay there.
After 12 years, Heartfelt is coming to a close.
It's because we're all pretending to be retired. And so we think it's a good time for somebody to take over who would want to grow it.
And while Heartfelt is closing,
we'll still continue to have events like this, and we'll still have a store and all that stuff here.
Isabelle Marak, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.